Yo, what is up, boys and girls? My name is Osmer, and I'm coming in with a late review of Halo 5 because I feel like reviewing games within the first, 3 days they come out is sort of bullshit and doesn't really give you a sort of grasp on the game. Either you go through a honeymoon phase or you just irately hate the game without giving it any sort of second chances, and you make up your mind, make the review, and that's that. I think it's really dumb to give out reviews for games extremely early in attempts to clickbait, unless you are making videos like I did, where you just straight up say a game sucks, um, out of just trying to be funny. But those videos weren't very funny. Anyways, what I want to talk about today, like I said, is Halo 5. I'm going to give this game a straight up review from what I have played of it. I've been playing it for, I believe this game's been out for 3 weeks now? 3 weeks, I want to say? I don't know. But it's been out for a decent amount of time. Enough time for me to give it a full review. Now, we're going to start off with the campaign portion. As you may know, the campaign in this game really doesn't follow much of the advertisements. A lot of the advertisements led you to believe this is going to be some sort of intense battle between Locke and Chief was going to look like some huge traitor or whatever. The campaign actually sort of plays lightly on that, but not to any sort of extent. Chief is MIA with Blue Team, and they are out hunting for Cortana, and Locke does have to go out and hunt for Chief, but not really to go ahead and kill Chief or anything like that, just sort of find him. And when he finally does find Chief, they get in a little tussle, and then that's that, and Blue Team goes and they try to help Chief. The campaign, the story is really just a build-up story. A lot of people don't really remember this, but Halo 2 sort of had the same kind of thing going on. But Halo 2 did a lot of world building within the Halo franchise, which a lot of people respect it for and call it a really good campaign, even though it is pretty short, just like this game. And it really is just sort of a in-between game leading up to Halo 3. But anyways, the campaign, I wouldn't say it's terrible. I had a lot of fun playing it with my buddy, but that's just because I was playing it with my buddy. In terms of the actual storyline, I wouldn't say that it was anything that blew me away, but I'm hoping that Halo 6 will sort of tie everything together in a nice little way and really give the Chief a lot of attention in the next game, hopefully. I really didn't like Locke or any of the other characters like Tanaka and Vale and Buck. I didn't really like them too much, but I mean, they were there, and that was that. My friends were playing as them, and I don't know. The cutscenes really didn't give you any sort of exploration into the backstories of those characters or anything like that. It was sort of just, here's the characters, play as them, and then here's some quips about buying drinks afterwards. Anyways, so yeah, the campaign, it was decent. It was a build-up campaign. It was a filler somewhat campaign to get you to Halo 6. Halo 6 should be a good campaign. I'm hoping and praying that they're actually focusing more on campaign for Halo 6 and less on multiplayer, because if they make the multiplayer anything like they did in Halo 5 going over to Halo 6, it should be a strike out of the park. I mean, come on. Have you played Halo 5 multiplayer? Halo 5's multiplayer is absolutely brilliant. It's the best Halo has been in a long time. People who have their nostalgia goggles on for things like Reach and Halo 3 won't really be able to see this, but this game actually improved on the mechanics of Halo 5, and if anything, it feels like a more direct successor to Halo Combat Evolved in a lot of ways that I can't really specifically describe, but I mean, it just does. Like, the weapon balance is all good. The time to kill is about the same as I would say Halo 1 was, but in a more balanced sense. And it all just feels so well tied together. The only complaint that you can really make about multiplayer in Halo 5 is from lack of content. And I think it's because they tried to spread themselves way too thin in terms of what they were doing. They made like 5 breakout maps, 5 Slayer maps, and 3 Warzone maps, and then yeah, I mean, there's a lack of maps in terms of what people actually play. I don't think that Breakout needed as many maps as it has, but I assume that Breakout maps were honestly easier to make, and maybe that's why they made more of them, as some sort of excuse to say that we're shipping with more maps. But even though these maps are just basically grids with some buildings in them, or not some buildings, but like some structures and some stuff, some cover, stuff like that. I mean, I sort of think that they might have just thrown Breakout maps in there just to up the map count. The arena maps in this game, there's two. There's one map that looks like another map, and then there's another map that looks like that map. There's basically 2 or 4 maps that look identical to another map in the game, and that doesn't seem lazy to me. So I guess there is 6 arena maps, I guess, for like Team Arena and Slayer and all that. I don't know. I'm not going to go count the maps right now, but I can tell you that there is a limited amount of maps, and we need more Slayer maps. Big Team Battle is coming this week. As of talking in this commentary, is a Tuesday, so they are coming this week sometime, hopefully. And those are going to be all Forge maps, and I don't know how to feel about that. The Forge maps look decent from this tiny little screenshot samples you got of them. But hopefully they'll increase the content. Warzone, I want to talk about Warzone. Warzone is a game mode that I enjoyed at the start of this game coming out, mainly because I guess people didn't have as many rec cards as they do now. But Warzone is kind of now just a clusterfuck of tanks and mantises and all this shit that people have collected throughout their game, and it's really just become an unbalanced fucking clusterfuck of fuckness. I enjoyed Warzone for a bit when I first got it. I played the fuck out of Warzone because it gives you more rec points, and I wanted to get those armors and shit. But now I don't really play Warzone anymore. It just seems completely unbalanced. You can sort of notice it now as time goes on and people collect all their cards and they start using them. Warzone is just not as fun. I guess if you have a lot of Warzone rec cards, then maybe it will be fun for you to take out those heavy, tanks and shit, blow shit up. But Warzone really wasn't for me, or it's not for me anymore. It was a fun game mode, but I feel like including it is kind of pay to win, honestly. Including shit like that in the game doesn't really work for me. I like the arena section of Halo 5 a lot more than I like the Warzone section. And let me say that the arena section is basically like a 10 out of 10 in my mind. This is my favorite Halo. This is exceeding Halo 3, and a lot of people might disagree with me. But I think that the movement mechanics and everything that they threw into the game just flow perfectly, and they just make the game just work. It just works, But yeah, that's pretty much all I have time to say. If you would like a more extensive review, I could make one of those, but I just wanted to make somewhat of a quick summary addressing all points in the game. Forge is coming in December. I'll review that maybe. Theater is kind of shit, honestly. They need to work on that. I heard that there might be a theater update too. But yeah, all in all, I would say that the arena experience is a 10 out of 10. Campaign's about a 7 out of 10. I'd give this game about an 8.5 out of 10. I love you guys. Have a good day. Love you. Have a good day again.